So a year and a half ago, I decided to start my whole self-improvement journey. And in that 1.5 years, I basically built my dream physique, although some things can be fixed. Basically, my dream physique from what I wanted from the start. I was able to cultivate more of a following on YouTube, my basically dead YouTube channel. I was able to get my dream girlfriend. I was able to become more quote unquote masculine. I was able to achieve my goals. And the only reason why I was able to do that is simply because I decided to go all in. I decided to completely destroy my old self, completely change who I was. And because I decided to get into a season of personal growth. So what I mean by season of personal growth, you've probably heard of this trend. If not, then I'll explain it. It's called monk mode, where monk mode is like a period of time where you completely block all distractions. So no more junk food, no more video games, no more, no more talking to girls, no more hanging out with friends. And you just decide to go all in and just work your butt off. Go to the gym, eat freaking healthy as heck. Like, you get super strict with that diet. You stop scrolling on social media all the time. You subtract your screen time a lot. You decide to start studying on your finals, or you decide to start working on that YouTube channel you've always wanted, working on business, get better at your job, get better at school. That's a set period of time that you're just like, okay, after this, I'm gonna go all in. Just, if I don't go all in, then you're just gonna keep resorting back to what your old behaviors are. If you're just like, okay, I'm gonna try to start eating healthy, or okay, I'm gonna try to start getting better grades, and you still do all the bad activities, then you're still gonna do all those bad things. But if you decide that, okay, the next 2 weeks to a month, I'm gonna dedicate to completely fixing my diet, to completely getting my grades up, to completely becoming a better student, to completely reading, or whatever your goal is for that month, whatever you want to achieve, I'm gonna dedicate that whole 2 weeks, a whole month, this whole 3-month period just to that. And you cannot, and you just try to set rules for yourself. Recently, like yesterday was Sunday, I decided, like, for the next 2 weeks, I'm not gonna let any more distractions distract me. I'm not gonna text my girlfriend for hours. I'm not going to eat all that junk food that my friends offer me, or I basically steal food from. I'm not going to scroll on social media all day. I'm not gonna not study for finals. I decided that, okay, for the next 2 weeks, while finals are in place, I'm going to be super strict with everything, strict with the diet, strict with the training, strict with my meditation, strict with studying, strict with a lot of other things that I had to subtract a lot of things throughout my life. I had to subtract hanging out with my girlfriend, calling my girlfriend. I had to subtract texting my girlfriend. I had to subtract delicious junk food. I had to subtract making edited videos for YouTube. I had to subtract a lot of things in order for me to completely get into that mindset, because now I'm a whole different person. I decided from that day, I'm gonna completely change. And that's the second thing, is more of completely changing who you are on the inside, not just the outside. I'll get into like the environment such outside in a second, but when you change your inside, like you completely snap and you're just like, okay, I'm not gonna be this person anymore. You decide to go all in. And when you decide to go all in, you're basically telling yourself that I'm gonna do whatever it takes in order for me to reach what I want. So, of course, naturally, we're gonna wanna go back to those habits. That's where your environment comes into the play. Because if you set up your environment the exact same, you're obviously gonna wanna keep doing the exact same thing over and over. Keep doing those distracting habits, those bad habits. So, let's say on my computer right there, let's say I always just pick it up and go to YouTube. A simple thing that I can do is literally just move my computer from there to somewhere else in my house where it's not in my room. So then anytime I want to watch YouTube or anything, then I have to put in more effort. The more effort you have to put into things, the less you're going to want to do them. And your environment is more powerful than willpower. So if your environment is the exact same, you're probably not going to want to do all the new things because your environment's still the same. You can do this by changing up your icons on your phone, like changing up the little icons, deleting apps. So anytime like you feel like going on YouTube and you accidentally click on something else because that's where YouTube used to be on the little home screen, and you're just like, you catch yourself, you're like, damn, without even thinking, I just clicked on YouTube. That's crazy. So when you move around things in your room, things in your life, when you move around things in your phone, that's going to give you an indicator that now you're a changed person. Now you don't want to be that same person anymore. So other things that you can do to change up your environment is simply just deleting the trigger or just taking out the activity that you love and enjoy. So let's say for me personally, it's just going on my phone just for random things, pretending to be productive when inevitably I know I'm not being productive at all. So what I do is that anytime I work, I go across my house, I turn my phone, like literally I turn off my phone, like slide it off, and I put it inside of a drawer. I close that drawer and I come back to do homework or come back to work on videos. That's what I do. For video games, I just turned off my console and I just put it in my closet. And then inevitably, like, gave it away. But what deleting the trigger means is just deleting what that main thing that you want to do is. Like, what leads you to want to do the negative activity? For me, what leads me to go on my phone is literally just because I'm bored and I want to be quote unquote productive and pretend to be doing something. For a while, it was video games, and the main reason I wanted to play video games is so I can have a sense of just achievement, because I wasn't getting that in any other area of life. So then when I started going to the gym, that was my achievement, a good achievement that I was able to grow. I was able to learn and I was able to become better. So inevitably I stopped playing video games because I got that achievement in real life. For a lot of people, it might just be junk food, where like the main reason why is because they feel stressed, so then they give into the instant gratification. And like the prefrontal cortex in our brains, its main functions are like reasoning and logic and focus. But so anytime we have a decision between a good and bad decision, our prefrontal cortex tells us to make the good decision that will make us feel better now, that will make us feel better later. But oftentimes when we're stressed, then the prefrontal cortex's function, or the prefrontal cortex, is the first thing to like shut off. So anytime we're faced with a good and bad decision, anytime we're stressed, we're gonna pick the bad decision. So that's why it's so important to have like those peaceful times in your day where you're just outside, or you're not on your phone, or maybe you're reading, maybe you like to listen to just podcasts and that's your relaxation. Maybe you like to meditate. That's another thing to relax. Just meditate, maybe take naps. That's why it's so important to stay calm and collected so that you can make the better decisions in the long run. And that's why it's so important to have those times in your day where you just completely relax and you're not overstimulated by your phone. So those are the few things that I would say that really did help me to completely change my life. Just change up your environment, change up who you are, and decide to go all in. Because if you decide to go all in, then you go all in. Decide to do the good thing. Do the hard work now instead of later. Like, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Melius_Sui. Do the hard work now instead of later. And as always, Melius Sui.